A lot of people get into the self improvement niche and they stay there for a long time. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with getting in and staying in for a while. Some people get in and live there. For example, Hamza Ahmed, if you know him. And, that's fine. That's how he makes his living. But I think for most people, the most beneficial thing to do is to get into the self improvement niche, get what you need from it, and then get out and graduate from it. Which is why in this video, I wanted to specifically talk about how to know when it is that you have graduated from the self improvement niche. So I feel like a lot of people, myself included, and obviously I make these videos for the younger version of me that, doesn't know any better. So I feel like a lot of people feel like it's not okay to leave the self improvement niche. The reality is that once you are in it, you cannot leave, right? It's like once you see it, you cannot unsee it. So once you develop these good habits and stuff, it's going to be very hard for you to say, I don't like the way that this makes me feel. I'm not going to strive to do this, to be better anymore. Because at its very core, that is what self improvement is basically just us as individuals deciding that we want to be better, we want to improve ourselves every single day, and we want to kind of remove ourselves from like all the chaos and build ourselves up. That's it. That's essentially what self improvement is. And so it's hard to go from that to just flat out just not wanting to be better, not wanting to improve yourself anymore. Is it possible? It's entirely possible. But is it likely? It is not very likely at all. But what is more likely is that once you have built yourself up to a level, a certain threshold that you have, then you're ready to graduate onto the next thing. And so for some people, for most people, it's starting a business. For other people, it's, doing well in school to take you to accomplish the things that you want to accomplish, whether it's being a doctor, being a lawyer, being an engineer, doing whatever. So it's very different paths for very different people, but it is important to note and to recognize when it is that you feel like you have reached that threshold. And at the end of the day, note the keyword feel like, you feel like, the keywords you feel like. Because at the end of the day, it is a feeling that you feel, that you know when it has been reached. So I'm going to give you an example from my own life because that's, all I can draw experience from on this specific channel. But in my life, for example, I've been part of the self improvement space for a long while now. I have, I mean, it's been a minute. I've been part of it for a long while, and I've juggled a few things. I'm not saying that I'm leaving, and by leaving I mean specifically for myself. My laptop's dying. Let me plug it in. Give me a second. So when I say leaving, I don't mean specifically for myself, but or I don't mean like obviously like yeah, I don't mean like I'm leaving, like I'm not going to do self improvement anymore, but I just mean that it's not going to be such a huge focus on my life. Now, I do think it is important to do self improvement in the beginning to kind of get the foundations of everything. But I think that once you reach that threshold, when you know you've reached that threshold, then it's important to listen to yourself and guide yourself to where it is that you know you want to be in the future. So for me, I've always known that I wanted to start a business. And so in the beginning, habits like journaling and meditating and reading and, all that stuff helped me. And they still continue to help me to this day. I don't journal the same way that I used to. I journal in a different way, which I've talked about in a different video. I don't know which one's going to go up first, but I did make a video about a journaling method that's changed my life. So if you want to look at that, you can watch that. But that's how I journal nowadays, and it works for me really well. Um, and so it's a different way, it's a different thing, and you'll realize that once you graduate, you start noticing these different ways and these different things to do some of this stuff, right? You find different ways to incorporate what you've learned into your routine instead of just copying what you've learned. And that's one of the telltale signs that you have graduated from the self improvement niche, is when you're not explicitly just listening to what somebody says, right? Because in the beginning, it is important to just turn off your brain and listen to what the person who is where you want to be listen to what they say and just turn off your brain. It is imperative that you do that in the beginning, but moving forward, it is also very important that you're able to turn your brain back on and think for yourself, and use your own situation as unique, unique data points, right? So I've been talking for a long time, but all that is to say that if you want to accomplish something greater than self improvement, and most people watching do, right? Most people watching don't just want to teach other people how to do self improvement, but if you want to accomplish something greater than self improvement, it is okay for you to pause some of the habits, or even better, like I'm doing, to incorporate the habits in a new way and make it your own thing, make it in your own way, right? That's even better. And don't feel bad if, for example, you stop watching some of the videos and you stop, you know, doing some of the things. That's okay as long as you are making progress towards your meta goal. Because the way that I see self improvement, it's a stepping stone that basically everybody needs to be on. Like everyone needs to step on the self improvement stepping stone in their life at some point. It's imperative. It's super important that everybody at some point in their life tries to better themselves and learns that they can better themselves and takes the actions necessary in order to do so. It's super important. And so you don't have to step on the stone and stand on the stone forever, is basically the point of this video. The point of this video is that it's okay to use it as intended, which is a stepping stone. And so how you will have known if you're ready to step onto the next stone is if you have established that pattern of consistency. Because sometimes you don't even have the tools you need to be able to go on to the next thing, right? You don't have the tools you need to be able to do deep work. You haven't meditated enough. You haven't done enough deep work. Deep work also takes practice too. So if you're willing to put in the practice, then that's fine as well. Obviously, you don't have to be perfect. I'm not saying that you need to be perfect in order to move on and to continue to chase your dreams. But my main point here is just saying that you need to have that confidence in yourself that the skills you have learned is what is going to be able to take you forward into the next thing that you'll accomplish. So that is how you know that you have graduated from self improvement and you're ready to go on to the next phase of your life, be it your business, be it your job, be it whatever, I don't know, motherhood, fatherhood. I'm in no place to give, obviously, parental advice because I'm not a parent and I won't be anytime soon. At least 5 years. That's the timeline I'm giving myself. Well, I said 5 years last year, so it's going to be 4 years now. But anyway, I'm going to stop yapping. I'll see you in the next video. And yeah, only thing I have to promote, if you want to see me work live on the next phase of my life, which is my business, that's in the live tab, so you can check in, clock in. If you, yeah, that's in the live tab. I have an interest form down below, maybe. I don't know if I still do that, but if I do fill it out, let me know. I have no intention in building the thing in the interest form right now. Even if I get positive responses, but if I get enough positive responses, then maybe I'll think about it. Maybe. But at the end of the day, like if I build it, I'm not making any money off of it, so it's literally just for love of the game, and I just don't have that much time to do all that right now. So maybe eventually, but right now it's just gonna be a no. But fill it out for in the future when I do have the time and I do want to do it. What else? Yeah, just that, the form and the live, and that's it. If you have any questions, I don't know, maybe comment. I don't know. I don't read comments on this channel. I don't really interact that much with this channel. But if you have questions, comment. Maybe I'll get back to you. And yeah, just watch the live. That's basically it. Because it's gonna be epic once the story comes to a head. Hopefully it will, but it'll be epic when that happens. So, yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and peace.